So the appraisal is a funny thing. When you're buying a house, you secretly want it to come lower to hopefully negotiate a better deal. But as a seller, not only do you need it to come in at a value that the lender will fund the loan, but you also want as much money as possible. Am I right? So in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how you can ensure an accurate home appraisal so you can get as much money as possible for your house. But first, my name is Lillian Chuckweezy. If you're new to this channel, I hop on here every week to talk about different ways to sell your house as easy and conveniently as possible. So if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. And make sure you stay tuned for the whole video because I guarantee you this video will help you get your house sold. So of course, as a seller, you want to get the highest price for your house, and as a buyer, you want to get kind of like the lowest, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're getting an accurate appraisal on both sides of the transaction. As a seller, the first thing you need to do to get an accurate home appraisal is to prepare your home. And what I mean by that is we'll help you get the best possible price for your property. This starts long before the house gets on the market. It involves cleaning inside and out of the property, removing any junk or clutter, and fixing little things like ripped screens, replacing cabinet hardware. These little things may sound inconsequential to you, but to an appraiser, that may actually downgrade the overall condition of your house. Now, landscaping and painting are two very, very simple and affordable things that also help a home reach its maximum value and helps you get the most accurate appraisal. Now, don't underestimate the role the exterior plays when it comes to the value of your home. The exterior is your home's first impression to an appraiser, and it is also seen as an indication of the condition of the inside of the house. Let's be real, when we see a messy outside of the house, we're gonna assume that the inside is just as messy and dirty as the outside, and vice versa. If we see a beautiful outside, we're gonna assume that the inside is just as beautiful. It's a mental game, but it's true. So you have to make sure you also fix those loose shingles, get those clogged gutters taken care of, and ensure all the pathways to your house are clear. Quick pause, guys. If you are getting value from this video, please subscribe and hit the like button, and let's get back to the video. Now, the next thing you have to do is obviously, as always, do your due diligence. Now, the appraiser is looking at more than just the home for sale. He's actually looking at the similar size and condition of homes in the approximate area to your home. Now, your real estate agent should have done a lot of due diligence at the start of this process. So this means that you should know that your home meets the market values in the current market condition. An average home will warrant less than a completely redone home with new everything. So you have to talk to your real estate agent about what the best comparables are to your home in the area over the past 3 to 6 months. This will help you get a better understanding of the current market and approximately where the value of your house actually should be. That way you can get an idea of any major finishes that you may want to do depending on the price that you may want to command relative to the area. Now, it's important to have this information because otherwise you won't know if the appraiser is spot on or way off. And if you do decide to make any major or even minor improvements, an extremely wise thing to do would be to hold on to the documentation in case you want to make an appeal later to an appraiser if you received what you believe is a low appraisal. Now, one thing you have to understand is that appraisers are humans too, and they can make mistakes, but it's up to you as the homeowner to stay on top of that process so you can give yourself the highest chance to get the most out of the transaction. So you have to be ready when the appraiser arrives. Even though you've prepared the home before you've listed it, you should still take some time to give it a nice good cleaning. Again, obviously this won't require as much work as the work done prior to listing, but it does help to put the home's best foot forward. So make sure you get the yard mowed, leaves blown, and the hedges trimmed a day or two before. Shoot down the sidewalks and the driveways to remove any dirt and grime, and just clean the kitchens and the bathrooms and make them sparkle. You need to remember that the appraisal will determine if your home falls into the above average, or below average condition. The cleaner it is, the higher up the scale you will go and the better the appraisal will be. Now, when the appraiser does arrive, give him or her space to do what they need to do. You don't want to be breathing down the appraiser's neck to try to show them each and every upgrade that you did. I know it can be very tempted to try to point out each and every improvement, but it's really not recommended. Again, appraisers are still people and they just want to get in, do their job, and get out. And they are trained professionals and they know what to look for, so you don't want to run the risk of annoying them or even revealing too much, because some people just talk too much to the point where it may just be detrimental. So just make sure to treat them with kindness and be available if they have any questions after they've walked through the house. Now, if you did all that and you received what you believe is a low appraisal, what you can do is appeal the appraisal. Now, if you feel like you received an unfair appraisal in regards to the value of your home, then this is when we talk about how to handle that. Now, the real estate debacle in the 2000s led to changes in how appraisers are hired and used, and so you can no longer choose an independent appraiser yourself. The appraisers are hired by the lender because there were too many favors going on with appraising the homes in a skyrocketing and inflating market. This means that loans were approved for homes that were not really worth what the appraisal said, and that is what also contributed to the market crash in 2008. So what this means for the buyer or the seller is that the process is streamlined and more fair. At least we hope so. A buyer can't get a lower appraisal by getting a favor, and a seller can't get a higher appraisal than what the market will actually yield. However, it doesn't mean that mistakes aren't made. So the appraiser might not be familiar with nuanced pricing in certain pockets of communities, so his or her radius of examination might not accurately reflect the appraisal. So this is why due diligence is important on your end. So if you and your realtor have done your homework and figured out and done your research, then you should have a realistic idea of the pricing and can appeal your case based on real market conditions, not favors. This is also where documentation of your improvements come into play. As I mentioned, you definitely want to get your documents in order when you do any major or minor improvements. So since your appraiser may not be familiar with your homes in the area or within your specific neighborhood, this is your chance to basically point out anything that you've done to add value to your property in relation to the neighboring homes. And if you have paperwork on the improvements like contractor invoices, then be sure to include copies of that in your appeal. Now, doing this will help add validity to your appeal, so please understand if you've done work to your property without the proper permits, that may actually decrease the value of your home, and you don't want that. So make sure before you do any major work, you definitely pull the permits and just make sure everything is, legal. And if you did make improvements without pulling permits, the reason why it can decrease the value of your home is because obviously it's illegal, and the new homeowner may actually have to undo the work that was done improperly and pull permits and redo the work in the proper way, which can cost a whole lot of money. So whether you're buying or selling, an accurate appraisal is in everyone's best interest, and your realtor, me, is there to help you understand the process and make sure that there are no surprises when the actual appraisal comes in. If you did get value in this video, definitely give it a like, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss when I drop the next video. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them down below in the comment section. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Stay safe and stay blessed.